Hello everybody! As you know, I announced last week that I would be doing a Q&A for 200 subscribers, and I've obviously hit 200 subscribers because I already acknowledged that in a video and all that. And all that good stuff already happened, but now it's time for the actual Q&A. You all put your questions down in the thingy of the other video, and now it's time for me to actually do a video where I answer them. Thanks once again for 200 subscribers, and this video is probably going to be very long, and it's gonna take me forever because I'm gonna try to answer almost all of the questions that I have because there obviously isn't like tons and tons of questions, but thank you to everybody who asked questions. Thank you very much, I really appreciate it, and this is hopefully gonna be a fun video, and you won't click off after like 10 minutes, so here we go. This is gonna take a while. But the first batch of questions comes from my good buddy Jackson Fulcher. If you don't know him, you've seen him in tons of my videos before. How do you not know who that is? I mean, he's like a regular for this channel basically. He's basically part of the channel. I give him cameos all the time.
No, hold on.
He's all over the place in my videos, so he has a batch of questions that he asked, and let's see what he asked. Number one, how's Fenway? That's my dog, by the way. Stupid Beagle that this channel's named after. He's good. Thank you for asking. I'll go show you him right now. Worst movie of the entire decade so far? That would be Rapturepalooza. It's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life. It's probably a movie you've never heard of. It's not very well known at all, and it's just horrible. It's literally the worst comedy I've ever seen. All the jokes are so bad that at the end of the movie I literally felt like I was gonna puke. I'm not even kidding. I wanted to puke at the end of the movie because it was so bad. And this guy, the guy that asked me these questions, Jackson, actually made me watch that, so it's all your fault. Thanks, man. You're amazing. What's your favorite Double Toasted review, and if you haven't watched them yet, why not? Because I'm lazy, okay? I haven't watched Double Toasted. I know they're really popular. I know they do a lot of videos and things that people really like. I'm just really lazy. I just haven't done it. I don't know why. Favorite Red Letter Media review, and if you haven't watched them yet, why not? Of course you'd ask that. I've seen a few of their videos, not much, because they're always like super long, and once again, I'm lazy. I mean, why haven't you watched Minority Report yet? It's a Steven Spielberg movie with Tom Cruise. Why haven't you watched it? It's one of the best Spielberg movies ever. You need to watch it. Don't tell me to watch Red Letter Media when you haven't seen Minority Report. Sheesh. Would you rather have one eye or five? 5, I guess? Because then I could see a lot of things. Best Dean Martin song? That one song. Ain't that a kick in the head? That was amazing, wasn't it? I should totally be a singer. Yeah, Ain't That a Kick in the Head? That's my favorite Dean Martin song. That song is amazing. Batman v Superman or Suicide Squad? Wonder Woman. In all seriousness, I put those basically on the same level. They're both really disappointing movies. They're both mediocre. But I'd probably say Batman v Superman is slightly better than Suicide Squad because Suicide Squad is just a big mess of My favorite accent, that would be British, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a favorite accent. What's your favorite accent? Why don't you answer that question sometime? And his last question is this my last question? The next batch of questions comes from 22 Dogger Dude. How you doing, man? I know you. And his first question is, favorite ice cream flavor? That would be vanilla. Vanilla's great. I love it. I usually just get vanilla with no toppings on it, which seems really weird to a lot of people, but like, I always just like plain vanilla. I don't know why. It's really good. What's the hardest scene to shoot in your short film? The Wild. Very good job on it, by the way. Thanks, man. I've been working on that for a while, so I was happy you liked it. Hardest scene to film in that? Geez. It's not, like, a lot of the stuff in that film was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It was actually, the crew was very nice to me. It wasn't like a pain in the butt to film a lot of the stuff. I'd say probably the hardest scene is the exchange that my cousin Dylan, who was in the movie, and my cousin on my mom's side, Anna, were having like a conversation. You saw it was like one of the flashbacks in the movie, and they were like talking about how they want to run off to Lorien and all that, and all their really crazy fantasies. Like, that was a hard scene to film because I'd never really filmed like a conversation scene before. I mean, I filmed the scenes with a ranger before that, but those were like 2 seconds, so this was actually like a legit conversation. It was just really hard to do, and it took a long time to do. The most difficult game I've ever played. Oh, geez. The original Legend of Zelda is up there. The second Legend of Zelda is up there. I haven't gotten like anywhere in those games because I'm really bad at games. I'm really bad at games, by the way. Mario the Lost Levels, definitely. That's one of the hardest games I've ever played. Next question is Film Fan by any chance your long lost brother? Oh wait, no, I skipped a question! Who is your least favorite actor and actress? I'd say for actor, who would I say for actor? Jeez. Maybe Hayden Christensen off the top of my head?
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating. And it gets everywhere.
I can't really, that's a hard question. I can't really think of like bad actors right now. That kid in Jurassic World was pretty terrible, so there's that. An actress would probably be Rebel Wilson. I can't stand Rebel Wilson. She's the worst part of Pitch Perfect. I feel like Pitch Perfect, those 2 movies could actually be somewhat good if she wasn't in them. She's so annoying. I can't stand her. If you had to say goodbye to one movie, what would it be? La La Land, Whiplash, Star Wars The Force Awakens, Jurassic Park, The Dark Knight, or Back to the Future? Are you trying to name my favorite movies of all time? Because you're missing some. You're missing quite a bit, actually. You're missing The Shining, you're missing Singing in the Rain, which I'm supposed to do a review with you on at some point. Oops, I haven't filmed that yet. Oopsie. But from those movies, I guess I'd say goodbye to Star Wars The Force Awakens. Even though it's so good, out of all of them, I guess I'd say Star Wars, but like, Force Awakens, without Force Awakens, we wouldn't get the expansion off the Star Wars universe that we're getting now. So it's like, I kinda wanna say something else, but I guess if I had to rank those movies, they're all incredible. They're all incredible films. I have nothing against The Force Awakens. I think it's one of the best Star Wars movies ever. But if I had to rank them, I guess I'd say that's my least favorite out of all the ones you mentioned. I don't know. That's hard. Why did you ask that of me? That's terrible. Screw you, Tony. Do you believe in Bigfoot? No. No. What is the video we had the most fun doing? This one. In all seriousness, probably, does the short film count? Because that was really fun. This was my first time making a short film, so I'd say that. But if it had to be a review, I'd say probably, like any of the rants I did, like The Darkness is one of my favorite videos that I've done, like with the Shining references. I think that's probably my favorite one. Yeah, that's my favorite review. But if I had to pick an overall video, I'd say the short film, because I've been working on that for a long time and it's put a lot of effort into that. So I'm glad you all liked that, by the way. Thank you for liking that short. What are some of your most unpopular opinions on movies? I'm not a fan of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I know. I love Stanley Kubrick. I love The Shining. It's one of the best movies ever made. But with 2001: A Space Odyssey, I don't get it. It was so slow. It was just like, I know a lot of people, I know it's a polarizing movie, like when it first came out, and a lot of people complained about it being slow, but it's like, I wasn't interested in any of it. I mean, if it was a movie with faster pacing that wasn't like way too long, you know, like just nothing happening, and if it had interesting characters, I would like it, but it's like, it's honestly as if I'm like missing something with that movie because I don't get the praise. I love the special effects, they're incredible, they still look great today, but everything else, I feel like I'm missing something with 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's honestly as if I didn't get it or something like that. I don't know what's up with me in that movie. Who are some YouTubers you'd love to collab with in the future? Do you mean like if I could pick any YouTuber ever? Who would I collab with? Any YouTuber ever, I'd probably say maybe Ralph the Movie Maker, because I love that guy. He's one of my favorite critics on YouTube. But if I had to pick somebody that I could realistically collab with, I'd probably say maybe Austin Putnam or John Maffio, one of those two, because they know who I am, they know me. I'd probably say them, but I don't know if they could. So, I don't know. And the next batch of questions comes from Landon Legate. First question, do you think the Emoji Movie will be the worst animated movie or even the worst movie of 2017? It's possible. I mean, it looks like trash. It looks so bad. Patrick Stewart is voicing poop. I mean, Patrick Stewart is literally voicing a piece of poop in a movie. The guy that just had Logan, Patrick Stewart, that's still hilarious to me. Patrick Stewart is voicing a literal piece of poop in a movie. It's just great. But yeah, Emoji Movie looks terrible, and if it's the worst movie of 2017, I wouldn't really be surprised, to be completely honest, because it looks so bad. I don't know if it'll be the worst, because the Bye Bye Man is so far my least favorite, but if it does top Bye Bye Man, it'll be like, that'll have to be like Norm of the North bad. Do you think Emoji Movie will be as bad as Norm of the North? I don't know. It's gotta be really hard to be as bad as Norm of the North, but I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, but it's like, I guess I'd say probably not, because Norm of the North is one of the worst animated movies ever made, as far as I've seen. So, I don't, it'd be really hard to have to make it be worse than Norm of the North. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you think the character designs in the Emoji Movie look awful? A lot of questions about the Emoji Movie he has here. What can you do over emoji characters, really? I mean, you're making a movie out of emojis, so what the heck are you gonna be able to do? Like, I mean, if you're forced to make an emoji movie, or else you're gonna get killed or something, like, the world depends on this emoji movie, I mean, like, I guess it's the best designs they could have come up with, even though the concept is terrible, but, like, I think I'm looking too far into this question. Next one. Do you think Sony Pictures Animation is the worst animation studio? Gotta look up some of their movies, because I honestly don't know a lot of them. Sony Animation's movies. Okay, so they had the Hotel Transylvania movies. Oh, they had the Smurfs. Caught It with a Chance of Meatballs, that was pretty good. Looking at their filmography, they look pretty terrible, so I guess I'd say yes, maybe? But if I had to pick another one that's probably the worst, I'd say Blue Sky. The only things I really liked a lot from then was the first Ice Age movie, the Peanuts movie, and their short Bunny. Have you ever seen that short about the old woman Bunny? That short is incredible. I love it. That short is like 3 minutes. Why can't they make a full-length movie with that quality? Because that short is so good. Why can't you do something like that? Do you watch Animact? I assume he means anime. Not really, honestly. I need to get into anime because it's like so popular. Everyone tells me I need to watch it, and I'm just like, I'm lazy. I mean, I used to watch the Pokemon show as a kid, if that counts. And I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is kind of sort of like an anime, but not really. Because it's like sort of in the anime style-ish, but it's not Japanese. Weird Name Productions, hey, how you doing? It actually only has one question. The first one to only have one question. Here we go. Any movie that you want a sequel to that doesn't have one in development? Oh wait, that's somebody else. The actual question Weird Name Production asks is, do you have a guilty pleasure song? Guilty pleasure song. I mean, I hate a lot of modern music, but one of the songs, I mean, I never listened to this ever, but I think the song is just hilarious. I'd say any song from Psy, like especially the song where he goes, hangover, hangover, hangover. That's one of the worst songs I've ever heard, but I find it so hilarious that I kind of like it. It's kind of like The Room, where it's so bad that it's just hilarious. Like the Hangover song, and Gangnam Style isn't really that good of a song, but I kind of get a kick out of it for some reason. Anything from Psy, really, even though he's really bad. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Thanks for your question, Weird Name Productions. Guardian Spider asks, any movie you want a sequel to that doesn't have one in development? Well, how about The Incredibles? Oh, that's already happening? In a few years? Oh, okay. What else is there? Unbreakable, always wanted a sequel to that. Oh, wait, oh. It's already a thing. Whoopsie. Honestly, there's so many sequels out there that it's like, I can't really think of a movie that desperately needs a sequel off the top of my head. Maybe if I thought about it more, I'd be able to think of an actual movie that deserves a sequel. Julian Shallow, a guy from my school, asks, nice hair? With a question mark at the end. There, I covered it up. You happy now? I'm just gonna do the rest of the video like this. I'm gonna do all my videos like this, so you stop commenting on my videos, nice hair. Just gonna wear this Frank Sinatra fedora. Yay! Next batch of questions comes from Drink Me. I know that guy. He's comments on my videos all the time. First question is, what's your opinion on Top Gun Maverick? I actually haven't seen the first Top Gun, and I assume what he's talking about is the sequel that was announced. So, I have no thoughts, because I haven't seen the first one, so. Next question is, if you, Anna Kendrick, or one other guy get into a three-way, would you rather have it be Jackson goddamn Falchai or Kevin mother effing Falk? Jackson? Pfft, screw Kevin, just kidding, Kevin's a cool guy, but Jackson's great. Did you get Jackson to see Minority Report yet?
No, I haven't! I try to get him to watch stuff all the time, but he never listens to me.
I should make a whole video someday just ranting on Fulcher, because I like to mess with him. But no, I haven't. I really wish he would, because it's one of the best Spielberg movies, but thank you for asking. I like that question very much. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's your favorite color of the alphabet? Number 7. There you go. That's a good answer. What's your opinion on B-Movie? I haven't seen it, but it's a huge meme, and it seems incredible. It seems so good. Like, everyone's saying, you like jazz. It sounds like the best movie ever made, and I need to see it immediately, especially if they make a sequel. Which they should totally do, because DreamWorks is falling apart right now with Boss Baby, and then they're gonna make a Boss Baby 2. Who's your guy crush, he asks. I actually kind of like that he asked that question, because I have a lot. Frank Sinatra, absolutely, is one of my man crushes, even though he's dead and buried under the ground. But Ryan Gosling, absolutely, is one of my man crushes. If I could look like anybody I wanted to look like, I'd want to look exactly like Ryan Gosling. I mean, look at him. Look at that guy. He's great! I'm straight, by the way. I just gotta remind you of that. But yeah, answered your question good enough. I answered 3 people. You happy? Thank you. You're welcome. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. This is already getting nuts. Can you click the following link? Okay. That's incredible. This is my favorite batch of questions so far. Drink Me, you're hilarious. Now let me get back to my own comments, because I had to leave it for the song. Next batch of questions comes from Dinosaurs, with a lot of Z's at the end. What's your favorite sci-fi movie? I would say my favorite sci-fi movie is The Empire Strikes Back! Are there any sequels you consider to be better than the first movie? Empire Strikes Back. Are there any remakes you consider to be better than the original one? Oh, jeez. Off the top of my head, The Jungle Book, I think, was even better than the original. I really like the original from the 60s, but I think the remake is even better. Jon Favreau did an incredible job with that movie. And I wouldn't say the newer Beauty and the Beast remake is necessarily better than the first one. I think they're basically equals, but it honestly is the best remake I've ever seen, because it's like, it's just as good as the original, and it's, I mean, if anyone were to call it better, I'd be like, yeah, I completely understand that, because it's so good. It's one of my favorites of the year, so off the top of my head, definitely Jungle Book is. But Beauty and the Beast came close to it. Are there any movies you consider to be so bad that they're good? The Room. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay, MC Deadpool's gonna ask me a lot of questions. I'm sure a lot of his questions are gonna be similar to Drink Me's, where it's very trolly. His number 1 question is, why don't you like rock music? I can tell you why I don't like rock music, because, I mean, I'm a guy that very much is a fan of old music. I love jazz the most. Jazz music is absolutely incredible, but I also like stuff from the 80s, and I like the Beatles quite a bit, and I like 80s rock, sort of, because Queen counts as a rock band, right? So if that counts, then that's absolutely my favorite rock thing. But overall, the reason I like jazz so much is because I feel like it's the most like emotionally resonating, because I don't know, something about it just makes me feel emotions. And it makes me like transform into other places, I guess. And it's so different and innovative in it every time. Like Ryan Gosling basically explained it in La La Land, why jazz is so great. Rock to me just sounds like a bunch of noise. I know that's gonna piss off a lot of people, but to me it does. I like jazz because it can make you feel happy, it can make you feel sad, it can make you feel romantic, it can make you feel anything, which is why I listen to it so much. And then there's just rock, which is just like, bleh! That's basically all of it. I should go to the next question before I piss off a lot of people. Favorite song performed by Seth MacFarlane? Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh, that's impossible. He's so good. I can't do it. I can't. Basically anything from No One Ever Tells You, I'd say is my favorite performance by him, but then there's all kinds of great stuff, and music is better than words. And he does so many good Christmas songs, and he does so many good, like, live performance songs of, like, Frank Sinatra covers, and it's all so good. But if I had to pick a favorite, I'd say anything from No One Ever Tells You, even though that's kind of cheating, but that album is incredible. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, along with Frank Sinatra's Wee Small Hours, because I'm a very depressing person. What is a movie that you disagree with one of your friends? Jackson and I disagree a lot on the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise and the first few Harry Potter films. And I disagree with Double Nine on Alien Covenant. And I disagree with Tony, 22 Tiger Dude, on Mad Max Fury Road. I'm sure everyone does. I disagree with all kinds of things with a lot of people. It's like film is very subjective, so that's a very open question that I could list things forever. I disagree with people a lot. Most overrated actor or actress? Overrated, Meryl Streep, Mary Bing, Kill, Jackson, Double Nine, and Tony. I'd say Barry Jackson, because he's great. He's like my brother, even though I don't want to marry him, that'd be disgusting. But if I had to marry one, I'd go with him. I'd kill Double Nine because screw that guy. And Tony, I guess I'd F Tony. It's really a weird question. Who's a movie reviewer that you love at first but now can't stand? Chris Stuckman. Chris frickin' Stuckman. To be completely honest, Stuckman still does good stuff, but after he did that Rogue One thing, and did a lot of other reviews that weren't that great, and they were just kind of like, oh, I love myself. If anyone disagrees with me, they're a stupid idiot. Just like when he does that, it really ticks me off. I still think he's a talented guy. He inspired me to do these videos. But like, just a lot of the stuff he's been doing lately is just, especially that Rogue One video, that was terrible. Jeez, acting like everybody else is an idiot for liking a movie. That was a great idea, Stuckman. No wonder you got a lot of dislikes on that. Next batch of questions come from Super Mario Fan 03. Why do you look like Double Nine? I don't. Since you love musicals, what do you think of Moulin Rouge? I have not seen it. So there's that. Why do you always gotta harass me with milkshakes and Spider-Man? If you don't know who Super Mario 03 is, Super Mario Fan 03, he's this guy, Brett, who I am in a group chat with a lot of other people like that really like film, and I'm in a group chat with Brett. And I like to harass him a lot because he's in the minority all the time, so I really like to pick on him, and you're just so fun to mess with, Brett. I mean, how can you not mess with you? I don't think there's any person in the forum that hasn't messed with you at one point. You're just so harassable. Stop being so harassable, and then maybe I wouldn't harass you. If Anna Kendrick came on your doorstep, how would you react and what would you do with her? Oh, jeez. I'd probably pass out because I'm a very nervous person. But then after I became conscious again, I'd probably take her inside and we'd probably like cuddle up and watch a movie or something. And then other things would happen that I don't want to get into because this is a PG show. Next batch of questions come from Jack Harrington, and his first question is, what's your favorite film ever? Empire Strikes Back. Number 2, favorite Anna Kendrick film, either last 5 years or 50-50. I think they're both great. Who's your favorite member of the film forum? Jeez, you're putting me on the spot. That's, like I said, that's the group chat I'm in. I'd say Jackson, duh. He's the best guy. But besides Jackson, I'd probably say maybe Gary. Gary's really cool. I love that guy. Gary is amazing. Hi Gary, if you're watching this, how you doing? What's your favorite color? Green. What's your favorite type of movie genre? That would be, I like all of it. I like all genres. If they're done right, they're done right. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. I love all genres. What's your favorite kind of music besides jazz? I'd say anything from the 80s, really. I like the 80s. And the Beatles are really good, so those, I guess. Even though that's not really a genre, but who cares? What's your favorite TV show? That would be Avatar: The Last Airbender. Do you have a favorite movie reviewer that you like to watch on YouTube right now? Ralph the Movie Maker, like I already mentioned earlier, I love that guy. He's so creative. I take a lot of inspiration from him. Even though I disagree with him a lot, but he's great. He's very talented. NG2C Network, which is Gary. He's been on my channel before, you know who he is probably, maybe. Here's some questions from yours truly, Mr. Garrison. First question is, where's the Asian honey you promised me? He's talking about the Bye Bye Man review where I promised him an Asian chick. She's very tiny, so I put her in a box. I hope you like tiny girls, cause I certainly do. And she's being shipped to wherever the heck you live. In a box. I really hope they poked breathe holes in that. If you have to say what food you would eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? Jeez. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on someday on that because I honestly don't know. I'd say Sunny D because I have it with me right now. It's my version of alcohol.
How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer.
Would you consider on making another short film in the near future? Absolutely. I want to make more. That's like, I mean, basically what that short film was it was sort of like a thing I also made with, I made it with school, obviously, with this group called SB Big Picture, which are like this very unwell-known thing that are sort of like the small group within my school where you can go there and you can sort of have school be revolved around your interests, basically. You basically switch from normal school to that if you have like a passion that you want to pursue, and not a lot of people go there, but basically, I wanted to go there for a while, so I basically had to do this sort of initiation thing before I got used to the program, and this short film was basically my initiation into Big Picture, this organization, and I made it with one of the teachers of Big Picture, Jim Shields, who I showed in the video. He was a part of it, actually. He was the ranger, and he was in the credits and all that. So next year in school, which is my senior year of high school, I'm gonna be making a lot more, hopefully. That's the plan. I'm gonna be making tons of stuff, because that's basically what I want to do. I want to be a filmmaker, so it's like they're gonna revolve school around my passions more than stuff I don't care about. So after summer, absolutely, I'm gonna be making a lot, hopefully. That's my plan. I plan to make a lot. I actually have some really weird, strange ideas that need a lot of development on them already. Is it true that Jackson will go to the senior prom with Anna Kendrick down the road? A lot of questions about Jackson. No, he won't. I mean, he'd probably have more of a chance with her than I would because I'm a loser, but no. Does Sally sells seashells down the seashore? Absolutely. Besides jazz, any musicians from the 80s you love? Oh gosh. Michael Jackson is one of my favorites. That's not jazz. Michael Jackson. There you go. Your favorite horror film of all time? The Shining. You can't beat The Shining.
Have you ever had a single moment's thought about my responsibilities? Have you ever thought for a single solitary moment about my responsibilities to my employers?
Jeez, there's a lot of questions left. Jeez, oh boy. C.A. Cougar has a bunch of questions. Hey, how you doing, Cougar? Congratulations on 200 subs. Hopefully one day I'll reach that point as well. Yes, you will. You have a good channel, man. Good job. Anyway, here are my questions. If you could date any celebrity besides Anna Kendrick, there's been a lot of questions about her too, not surprisingly. Who would it be and why? I'd say Emma Stone, easily. She's not only is she extremely beautiful and she's a really good actress, but she's actually a really nice person in like real life. If you watch interviews with her, and you watch like behind the scenes stuff with Emma Stone just being herself, she's a really awesome person. So, other than Anna Kendrick, I'd definitely say her. Why are you more deserving of Anna Kendrick's love than Jackson? See, they got the two topics that I've been answering the most about, Jackson and Anna Kendrick, and they combined them together in one question. Good job. You did. Why am I more deserving? I'm not really. I'm a terrible person. Why did you ask that? What is your favorite film franchise of all time, and what is your favorite film in the franchise? Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. And if you want to know my least favorite, Attack of the Clones. That movie is trash. What is your most overrated film of all time? Oh... God, 2001: A Space Odyssey. What is your favorite film of the decade so far? That would be La La Land. I know that's very controversial to a lot of people that I know. They would be very mad at me for liking La La Land a lot, but I don't get why, because it's amazing. Look at it, it's right there. It's so good. That movie touched me a lot, and I talked about why. So if you want to know why, watch the video. Don't just destroy me. Who would you say is the biggest Oscar snub of all time? Oh gosh. Probably off the top of my head, the biggest one that I can think of is Andy Serkis for like everything. I mean, he should have been nominated for Two Towers, he should have been nominated for Return of the King, he should have been nominated for Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and he should have been nominated for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That guy is so talented. To be able to do a role like Gollum, which is funny and disturbing, and it's everything. To be able to do a role like that and not get nominated for an Oscar and completely transform yourself like that, it's a crime not to be nominated for an Oscar for that, and not to win, because he deserves that win. And for Caesar, for him to have to completely transform into an ape, think about how crazy that is. He had to be an ape. He absolutely deserved it for that as well. I don't care what you say, if it's like motion capture rules it out, but no, he did all that stuff, so it still counts. It still should count. Oscars are stupid. Have you ever walked out of a movie, and if so, which ones? No, I haven't, actually. I have nearly walked out of several, because I usually, when it's a bad movie, I don't usually watch it in theaters, but I have watched quite a bit of bad movies in theaters. Like, I nearly walked out of Pixels. That was one, because that was probably one of the worst movies I've seen in a theater, and yeah, I'd say that, I guess. I mean, I didn't actually walk out, but I almost did, because I rarely walk out of movies. I never do, actually. What is your least favorite film from your favorite director, and what is your favorite film from your least favorite director? Least favorite film from your favorite director. Least favorite film from my favorite director, I mean, Steven Spielberg. Everyone loves Spielberg. He's one of the best directors of all time. And I'd say my least favorite film from him is, what's that movie? The Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Every time I even think about that movie, I'm like, how did Steven Spielberg direct that? I don't understand that whole thing surrounding Indiana Jones, the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That movie is not very good, and the fact that Spielberg was attached to it is just like, that's so weird, because Spielberg is incredible. I honestly can't think of somebody that would be my least favorite director, so I'm gonna have to come back to you on that, because I actually can't think of a particular least favorite director that I have. This guy called Chug Budsky, I think that's how you say that, asked 2 questions. Are you gonna review King Arthur? Maybe, sometime in the future. I hear it's terrible, so maybe it's good worstless material. Maybe I'll watch that at some point. Benjamin Mayer asks, what comic book superhero film do you think is worse? Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance or Fanforstic? I actually haven't seen Ghost Rider, but I hear it's the worst thing ever. I hear it's really bad, so I haven't seen it, but I have seen Fanforstic, and that movie's atrocious, so I'd say Fanforstic. Even though I haven't seen Ghost Rider, but I bet it can't be as bad as Fanforstic, because that movie is a travesty in every sense of the word.
Gotta say, it's fantastic.
My least favorite Disney movie? I mean, a lot of things qualify as Disney movies. I mean, like, all the Star Wars movies qualify as Disney now, all the animated movies are Disney, Pixar's Disney, Marvel's Disney. I don't know. I mean, I'd say since Attack of the Clones is Disney now, I'd say that maybe, unless there's something I'm really forgetting, and I probably am, but I guess my answer for now is Attack of the Clones, because that technically counts as a Disney movie. Kenyon Mecca, another guy I know in real life, asks, what is your favorite kind of cereal? That would be Cocoa Puffs, because they're sugary and they're chocolate and they're really great and they're yummy. And I don't like healthy things. Question 2 is, why did you delete Tom Grimm? I did not delete Tom Grimm. It's actually unlisted. If you don't know what that is, it's basically like an old show I used to do. It was like these really stupid, embarrassing skits that I used to put together, like before I even did my first legit short film, which was The Wild, and it was like, it was on this channel, but right now it's unlisted because I don't want people to see them because they're so bad. But if you really want to see those, Kenyon, I'm talking to you, message me and then I'll link them to you. There you go. Would you be a Jedi or a bounty hunter? I'd be a Jedi because I want to use the Force to move things, and I want a lightsaber so I can cut people. I'd probably be a Sith, actually. Oh gosh, another big batch of questions. This is gonna take forever. Shadik the Review Guy asks, if you had to choose a top 10 worst films of all time, what would you choose? I mean, hey, top 10 worst. That's really hard. Last Airbender would be in there, Rapturepalooza would be in there, The Darkness would be in there. Probably the first Twilight would be in there, because I haven't seen the other ones. I can't think of a top 10, let alone a top 5, but that's probably the best answer I can give you, because I haven't figured that out in my life before. Do you prefer the MCU or the DCEU? Definitely DC, because they are better than Marvel in every single way, and they are totally amazing, and they have no problems, and they're not messes at all, and all the characters are so good. Definitely DC, I'd say DC for sure, is DC. What camera do you use? It's actually not a very good camera. It's like this thing that has like a little flip thing on it, and it's what's it called? It's called the Sony thing. I don't know what it's called, but it's like, it says Sony on it, so that's what I'm gonna call it. What software do you use to edit videos? I use Adobe Premiere Elements. That's a really good program. I use it for basically everything, and it can basically do anything you ask it to. Do you plan to watch all Transformers films leading up to last night? I probably should, to be completely honest. I probably should, but I really don't want to. So, that one movie reviewer asks, do you prefer plot or character-driven films? I mean, I think both movies should have a balance of both those things, because plot is very important, obviously. You need to have a story that really works, and you need to have characters that are extremely good. I mean, both of those have to kind of go together and make a good balance of a film, because it's not like, if it's a movie with a really good plot but the characters aren't good, the movie's not going to be good. But if the characters are more likable than the plot, then I guess that would still, there's been some good movies where the plot isn't like exceptional, it's nothing Oscar worthy, but the characters really carry it, so it's like, I'd say probably character driven, because like movies, the characters carry the movies. Worst movie going experience, Penguins of Madagascar was pretty bad. It's like, I haven't had a lot of terrible movie going experiences, but that was pretty bad. There was kids all over the place crying and screaming, and Justin Williams asks, what's the worst film you've seen this year? That would be The Bye-Bye Man, easily. That movie is terrible. I did a very long review of it with my buddy Gary, who asked questions earlier in this video, so you can check that out if you want to, if you haven't seen it yet. What's the best film you've seen this year? That would be Logan. Absolutely Logan. Logan. And the last batch of questions comes from Samuel One World. I know you. Hello, guy. Any modern songs and artists that you actually like? I'm not really. There is one guy that I really love. One of my favorite singers is this dude that was on American Idol one year, and he was like, I actually haven't seen the season he's on, but I just know he was on it, and he lives in like Massachusetts. He like sings at weddings and stuff. He has like this orchestra. His name is John Stevens. He's like this jazzy singer, Frank Sinatra inspired. That guy is incredible. He made like a whole album of original jazz songs, and it was so good. Anything involving John Stevens is really good, so I think he's probably my favorite artist that's around like right now, even though nobody knows about him because he's just like a dude that's like a normal dude that's not really famous or anything. He was just on American Idol once, so it's like out of like modern singers that are like famous, I'd say maybe I can't think of anyone. Favorite songs from any songs other than jazz? Anything by the Beatles is really good. I love the Beatles. The Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen is really one of my favorite songs that isn't jazz. That song is incredible. I love that song, so there's that. Favorite Frank Sinatra songs? I have a whole Spotify playlist of the best Sinatra songs. That's impossible. I'm not gonna name several because that would take way too long, but my absolute favorite song from his is The Way You Look Tonight. That song is incredible. I can listen to that every time, like billions and billions of times, and it just never gets old. That song I could just put on repeat forever. That song is incredible. Any films you love from your childhood but hate now? The Chipmunks films, best video game you've ever played, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. It's right up there. That game is my childhood, but also Breath of the Wild is like just as good as Ocarina of Time, so that too, even though that game is really recent. So that's one of the best games I've ever played. Any films you always wanted to watch but you never got to? Blade Runner is one of the movies I really need to see. The other films in the Cornetto trilogy of Edgar Wright's movies I really need to see. I've only seen Hot Fuzz. Those most underrated films ever. Unbreakable. Absolutely Unbreakable and The Last 5 Years. Unbreakable and The Last 5 Years are the two most underrated movies ever made. Unbreakable, I think, is one of the best movies ever made, to be completely honest. It was my favorite movies ever. Most disappointing films ever? Suicide Squad, Fantastic, Batman v Superman. There's a lot of really disappointing movies out there. Films you hated but loved it or liked it more over time. Actually, I can't think of that. Usually if it's a movie that I hated at first, I'm gonna stay hating it. It's like, I mean, there's been movies that I liked at first, but now I hate. Like, a lot of stuff. But the other way around, I honestly can't think of anything for that. Films you loved but end up hating it over time. That would be Suicide Squad. It absolutely is one of those. Have you ever watched a movie so many times? You put several O's. A lot of them. Yes, I have. The Star Wars films, Incredibles is one of the movies that I watched over and over again. Just like, basically anything you could think of from your childhood that you would have watched a lot, I would have watched a lot. So there are a lot of movies that I can quote a lot. Any other celebrity crushes you have? Well, there's Emma Stone, there's Margot Robbie, there's Daisy Ridley, there's Emma Watson, there's Blake Lively, there's Teresa Palmer. Okay, I finished. Thank you so much if you sat through this entire video. That took incredibly long to do. Thank you so much for getting me to 200 subscribers, and I hope you found my answers to your questions satisfying or funny or humorous or whatever that they may be. And I will see you all next time in the next video. Bye-bye.
What a story, Mark.